It's my privilege to introduce another speaker who is a luminary in psychiatry with over 42 years of experience. Dr. Sidana, that is, Dr. Roop Sidana, is often described as a last of the stars in the mental health field and serves as clinical director of Tekchand Sidana Memorial Psychiatric Hospital. He pioneered the de-addiction rehabilitation Prerna program, a community-based rehabilitation initiative, and is known for his deep spirituality, humility, empathy, and acute clinical awareness. Let's welcome our IGC Global Chair for Spirituality and Psychiatry, Dr. Roop Sidana.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must express my gratitude and thanks to Dr. Avinash Kaur and Meenakshi and all the team of Ishkama Global Change for giving me the opportunity to be on such a high level as the Global Chair for Spirituality and Mental Health. And I am also grateful to all the team for bringing up this convention in India, and I'm happy to be here talking about Bhagavad Gita and psychotherapy. And to begin with, I must say that it is not a literary discourse. I would start with my personal experience, why I chose Bhagavad Gita and psychotherapy. And psychotherapy, I am not a psychotherapist per se, I am a psychiatrist. I use different aspects of psychotherapy, different kinds of psychotherapy, be it psychoanalytic, psychodynamic, cognitive behavior therapy, or hypnosis, in my practice as per the requirement of the clients. And if they need formal psychotherapy for a longer time, I refer them to the trained psychotherapists. And in my personal family life, I faced a challenge at one time when two of my family members passed away within a gap of 1 month, and I was in the beginning of my career. And not only me, my whole family was undergoing through a severe grief reaction. And Bhagavad Gita came to our help at that time, and I still practice and use those few lines from Bhagavad Gita to help my clients, and I find that these are practically useful in at least 3 situations. First, grief, death of any near or dear one, especially during COVID time. I have used a simple method which I would start before I start my talk. That few lines from Bhagavad Gita in a song, in a bhajan by Anuradha Paudwal, which I have been listening to as and when I am stressed out, or I also use that in my OPD waiting hall, and advise people who are undergoing grief or who are in a situational anxiety situation. First is grief, second is situational anxiety, and third is loss, financial, be it a job, be it a broken love affair. So these are the 3 situations where I find that it is easy to get into in conversation and listen to the story of Bhagavad Gita or the simple principles and get the help. So before I start my talk, I would ask 2 minutes or 3 minutes to listen to this particular song, and then I would start. So I would beg for 5 more minutes from my presentation. I may overshoot. Thank you.
चिंतित हो रहे हो, व्यर्थ
Thank you. If anybody is interested, we have a link which can be shared on the group, and it's around 15 to 20 minutes song which anybody can listen and get peace of mind at least. So, going back to 5,000 years back, when Indians are fond of storytelling, and Bhagavad Gita is a story, it is a scene which has been created by the Mahabharata, the battles between the Kauravas and Pandavas, and Arjun at that time suffers from what we today call as anxiety, panic attack, or severe depression. And can I have the first slide? The ancient blueprint for modern minds. Next. So what we have is our client Arjuna with acute trembling, loss of motivation, profound grief reaction, and saying that, Lord Krishna, I cannot do anything, I cannot fight the battle. And the symptoms that are described in Bhagavad Gita are those symptoms which are these days we see in DSM-5 and ICD-10 or 11. My limbs are becoming feeble, my mouth is parched, my body is quivering, and my hair are standing on end. My bow is slipping from my hand, and my skin is also burning a lot, and my mind seems to reel. Therefore, Lord Krishna, I am not even able to stand. How can I fight the battle? I am beginning to see evil signs and do not perceive any welfare by killing my kin in the battle. So these are the signs and symptoms which are present, and they were as well described as they are today in the modern textbooks. And we have the therapist who acts as the charioteer. And it is not only Bhagavad Gita is a religious scripture or a religious book. It is a literary which has been used practically by many countries, many people. Even Einstein is seen to have mentioned that I should have read Bhagavad Gita before I started my career. And J. Robert Oppenheimer, he studied Sanskrit under Arthur W. Ryder, and he was very fond of Gita and called the most beautiful philosophical song existing in any known tongue. Quoted Bhagavad Gita in public, recalled Bhagavad Gita after the Trinity best. So what happens in the journey? The Bhagavad Gita consists of 18 chapters. And in each chapter, step by step, Lord Krishna counsels Arjuna in the journey to come back to the battlefield as a person who is ready to fight and ready to win. And it starts with the existential crisis, seeking the therapeutic alliance, cognitive restructuring, mindful action, and resulting in mental equanimity. And the various chapters. So the chariot and the charioteer is labeled as the framework for self-mastery, where Lord Krishna chose to be the charioteer for Arjuna during the war. And Arjuna is Atman, the body. Charioteer is the buddhi, the intellect, the decision making, and our indriyas, that is, these are the horses. And the reins, that is the mind. Mind controls the indriyas, and this is our body and the soul. So, what we talk about body, mind and soul connection in modern science, it was given 5,000 years in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna in the framework of the chariot and the charioteer. So there are 18 chapters. In the first chapter, Lord Krishna defines the problem, listens to Arjuna and makes a report. In the second chapter, he analyzes the problem, formulation, and then suggests a solution plan. In the chapter 3 and 6 are karma, the path of action, and the chapter 7 to 12 are path of faith, developing trust, that is the bhakti, and the 13 to 17 chapters are path of knowledge, that is the gyan. So in modern language we call it doing, feeling and knowing. These are the three steps in which Lord Krishna talks about, and chapter 18 is ultimate summary and the recommendations. So if we compare it with our cognitive behavior therapy, the CBT, there are 18 chapters, 18 sessions. So each session is focused and delivered by Lord Krishna as a therapist, as a mentor. In Western culture, the therapies is like dynamic, non-judgmental, non-authoritative therapist. There is a professional boundary, conditional structure, non-directive, collaborative discovery. The patient has to talk and the therapist has to listen. It is focused on symptom resolution and behavior adaptation. In India, in our culture, we focus on Guru-Chela dynamic. Most of the time when we start counseling a patient, he bows to us. Many a times when the patient is fine, goes back and comes back, he always like to touch the feet of the therapist, even if he refuse. That is the Guru-Chela dynamic in Indian therapy. There is absolute devotion, unquestioning trust, and existential guidance. Highly directive, authoritative, providing spiritual and scientific reasoning, focused on self-actualization, cosmic alignment, and liberation from the ego. But it's not just that the Bhagavad Gita is focusing on Guru-Chela relationship. This is the protocol for the chapter 1, 2 to 17 and chapter 18, Moksha Sannyas Yoga. Various parts of Bhagavad Gita are compared with the different kind of therapy. Dharma, the logotherapy, Nishkam Karma, CBT or process focus, Samatva, that is emotional regulation and stoicism. The gunas are comparable to psychodynamic structure theory. There are tamas, rajas and sthitpagya. Atman, that is the focus on self-awareness, that is the mindfulness therapy that we have. So, many of the techniques described in Bhagavad Gita are used in various kinds of therapies. So, I would just focus on 3 shlokas for the sake of the time. Karmane vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karam phal hetu bhurma te sangaye utsav karmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but not to the fruits of action. Do not be motivated by the results, nor should you be attached to inaction. That is the essence of Indian culture, Indian therapy, that do your duty and don't focus on the result. Results will definitely come, but even when they don't come, you don't have to feel bad. Encourages clients to perfectionism, focus on effort, not on fear of outcome. It helps to reduce anxiety, perfectionism, and fear of failure. Here I will compare the modern kind of anxiety and when you are following this Bhagavad Gita flow. You do an action, you have a desire for the reward, like you want to clear an exam, you want to get the award. But there is just before the final things are coming up, you have fear. If anything happens, what will I do? If I am not able to do it, what will I do? Then it leads to fragmented mind and suboptimal outcome, and then high performance anxiety. Whereas if you are following the Bhagavad Gita flow, there is action, there is a deliberate detachment from the outcome. Nishkam karma, complete focus on present effort. Mental equanimity, samatva. You are balanced and you have a peak performance at the time of your final result. Yogasthe kuru karmani saing tvatyaktva dhananjay siddhe siddhyo samo bhutva samatva yoga uchyate. Establish in yoga equanimity. Equanimity is balance. Perform your duties without attachment and perform your duties without any attachment. Be balanced in success and failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. What we call yoga is these days different, but basically the yoga was the union, the balance between the action and the result. Udvedvatmanam natmatnam suradvet atma eve atmano bandhuratva ripuratmanan. Elevate yourself by your own mind. Do not degrade yourself, for the mind alone is your friend and the mind alone is your enemy. So you have to focus on your mind, on your ability, your mental well-being. Empower clients to take positively responsibility for their mental well-being. So, like the psychodynamic aspect, there are tamas, the maps to the id. In the psychodynamics, we talk about the id, ego, and superego. So, tamas is id, the rajas is ego, and sattva or balance or purity is superego. So, there is a balance between the two, then you have the guna balance cycle. So, maintaining relational solvency through unconditional service. The emotional bank account. You have the positives, you have the negatives. Empathy, karuna, selfless service, seva, and conscious acts of daily kindness without expectation of reciprocation. And withdrawals in our emotions is resentment, criticism, anger, which destroys the intellect. So, when you apply nishkam karma, many of your bank account goes to the positive side. So, a holistic integrated model for existential recovery, sthit prajna, which consists of karma yoga, purposeful detached action, bhakti yoga, that is emotional regulation, unconditional devotion and redirection of material emotions, and Jnana Yoga, cognitive restructuring, intellectual self-awareness and knowledge of the eternal Atman. So these are the take-home messages for everyone. Focus on what you can control, accept what you cannot control, clarify your values, dharma, practice equanimity, sambhav, and act without becoming as an observer and do the best you can do. Cultivate the witness self. That is, you observe your mind and your thoughts as a witness and don't get involved into it. And self-control and develop discipline through small steps. See the bigger picture rather than looking at just the result. And so a timeless, Bhagavad Gita is a timeless architecture for human flourishing. The Bhagavad Gita is not merely a spiritual text. It is a sophisticated proto-therapeutic manual that predates modern psychology. And by practicing detachment and faith, we can lead a good human life and be happy and help others also. Thank you.